today's theme is what else is out there. I normally start our talks with either cases that have been interesting a few weeks before, or anything that will help the 40 plus crowd. So today I want to talk about a lot of science that's going on in the anti-aging world or regenerative medicine world. I came back from a seminar outside the United States to talk about mesenchymal stem cells, both from autologous, meaning from the patient, or from placental tissue or the cord, which is called wharton jelly. Also, there's stuff happening out there in terms of peptide IV infusions. I have discussed IV infusions before in terms of, we have one in the office called the Immune Boost, which it has zinc, calcium, magnesium, B complex, vitamin C, and glutathione, and you can make it an anti-aging balm with the IV NAD. For those of you who don't know any of these terms, glutathione is it's an antioxidant that we normally produce and that we tend to produce less of it with age. Same thing with the NAD, which helps our mitochondria work a lot better, and we can get IV infusions and cause generalized anti-aging and well-being in general, right? So when I was out there, they were talking about even more robust protocols for anti-aging and accelerated healing. The data that we were presenting, it was not a fertility forum. It was more of a aesthetic / well-being. So the data on the anti-aging was more on improving joints, sports medicine, so joints and muscles after injury, chronic pain, generalized well-being, skin, hair. But if you think about it, the tissue that is inside of you is covering your ovaries, and your ovaries is made of the same thing as with the covering of your uterus is epithelial cells. So anything that will make your skin be younger and better, it's going to make potentially your ovaries and your uterus younger and better. So I'm very excited about this new stuff and how it can potentially be added to what we're already doing to making us, all of us, fabulous and fertile and absolutely young past 40. I love what Dr. Keel says. He always goes, how many years young are you, right? Because, age really is just a number. So I will explore this a little more. Unfortunately, all this therapy in the world of fertility is not legal to this day in the United States. But I am exploring, sharing this information with some of you. If you are interested in knowing a little more, go ahead and write me through Messenger, and I will point you in the right direction. I am creating collaborations outside the United States for the patients that feel a little bit more adventurous and are willing to try it in conjunction with what we're doing. So stay tuned. I am going to personally go and have a stem cell transfusion in the next few weeks because I'm dying to see what it does to me. I am 40+ fabulous and fertile. So I am here with you. We're on this together, and I will definitely report to all of you all the side effects and whatever I experience in my own body. I am a firm believer that if it's not something that I'm willing to do to myself and to my family, then I should not be recommending to my patients. Actually, that is how I came up with some of the uses of PRP. For those of you that have enjoyed the high volume PRP, that's a technique that I came up with trying to heal my own body because I had an endometrial ablation at the age of 39 and I wanted to get my periods back. So, and I wanted to be able to use PRP in the office for myself and the patients without necessarily going to the OR. So then that's how the high volume PRP was created about 10 years ago. So going back to some of these techniques, there is some data out of China that stem cell therapies in conjunction with, again, some other modalities can revert menopause. So I'm really excited to explore that as well. I know that I've been using PRP for about 10 plus years. On myself and others, I've injected PRP in every possible place of the human body can be injected. So, but the downside to PRP is that it's not alive, if you want to call it that way. It's your plasma with your own healing proteins, but it won't have the intelligence of a live cell to actually go and repair. What it does, it becomes a beacon for your own healing cells to go where those proteins are and go ahead and heal it. But if you can enhance that with stem cells, which are live, whether you do your own or fetal based, from placenta or umbilical cord, then it's even a stronger response, and that's kind of what I would like to explore, especially for the patients that PRP takes them here, and that is improvement, but it's not where we want to be. I have a beautiful lady from Pittsburgh, and she comes down quite often. We've been working. Unfortunately, she's been in menopause for the last 9-10 years, so she is dealing not only with the inability to have a biological child, but also with the side effects of menopause at the age of 42. So we've been working together with PRP and other modalities, including IV infusions. She comes down for the immune/anti-aging balm and other PRP modalities and vaginal rejuvenation and high volume. She comes for the whole what's up, and we've improved a lot. We even got her to have a period in conjunction with she was on human growth hormone and ACG. But I think that in her cases, we're coming from behind. We have not been able to break that barrier completely. She did have one period, but then it went away. So I believe that maybe for somebody like her and some of you out there that have found like a plateau in your growth and in your healing, maybe these are some of the other new techniques that could be added and break that plateau and take you to the next level. All right, so if you have any questions about this subject, go ahead and jump on your questions. I have one of our beautiful shares say, so she had her first retrieval and got no eggs. I know that that's devastating, and I am so sorry. I have another beautiful patient that I follow very closely, and she's struggling. And in her case, she did get eggs, but only one embryo mated. So, especially when you are seeking the miracle, and you're low AMH and so forth, sometimes this journey can be even harder than somebody that is not dealing with these challenges. And the best thing is to regroup and see what works best for you. I want you all to understand that donor eggs is a choice. It is a choice that will always be there for you. And it's not the worst case scenario. That's very important to be in that mindset. Understanding that that is a great plan B. It's a beautiful plan B that works every day for a lot of us. But I also want you to understand that in this journey of trying to, you know, push the envelope, sometimes the outcome or the initial outcome is not exactly what we dream of. However, losing one battle does not mean that you will lose the war. It is an issue of perseverance. I jokingly say all the time, this is not for the weak of hearts. This is not a sprint race. It is a triathlon. All right, it is the Ironman of fertility and of life because it's so hard emotionally, physically, financially. So if you can imagine a triathlon, that athlete can be tired after the first obstacle. They need to run, they need to get on the bike, then they need to swim before they can get to that finish line. And that's what it's all about. And it's a very personal choice. That's why I started with the subject of the donor eggs, because it's not the worst case scenario. I have a beautiful lady from Miami, and she is 40, battling low berry reserve. Her AMH is 0.3. On her first IVF cycle, she got 2 eggs, 1 fertilized. She got pregnant and ended up being identical twins, and unfortunately she lost them at 7 weeks. And then her second IVF did not go as planned. She ended up with 0 eggs. And she's in a very, very dark space. And I tell her, it's not over until it's over. But at the same time, donor eggs is not the devil either. There's a lot of women that use that resource, and to their amazement, they're proud, happy moms. At the end, who cares where the egg came from? You're gonna buy an egg. I think that people, they're afraid of the emotional, psychological issues behind it. And even though adoption is beautiful, it's a different thing altogether. You're buying an egg of somebody that's selling you an egg and doesn't want to deal with the egg. So it's not like the biological mother. It's not the same thing. Somebody bought. It's like I'm cutting my hair and I'm selling it or giving away for wigs. Somebody bought an egg. Somebody sold their eggs to a middleman, which would be CNY in this moment, and then you bought the eggs, and so it's yours. It is 100% yours. It'll be fertilized with your partner's sperm or donor sperm if you're doing it by yourself. So it is your baby. It's absolutely your baby. It'll go in your stomach. You will be as miserable as any other pregnant woman. You will have all the experience of carrying it and taking care of it from the point of implantation. And you will deliver that child like any other mom. You will have all the joys of either a vaginal or C-section delivery like any other mom. You will breastfeed the child if that's what you intend to do. And you will be puked on, pooped on, and peed on like any other mom on this planet. It will be exactly the same experience. And at the end, you're going to look at that baby, and the last thing you're going to think of is where did the egg came from. So it is not the worst case scenario at all. Okay? I know it's sometimes from hindsight is 2020. That's what I get from every lady that I have been in their path and they have chosen donor eggs. But it's very important that in this journey, that choice, you don't see it as like failure. It is not failure. It is a beautiful choice as well. But knowing that gives you peace to push the envelopes until you get tired or until you're ready. Okay, because those 25-year-old eggs will be there forever. So there's no clicking of the clock anymore. choices there. And then if you're 40, 42, 45, 48, whatever age that you're trying to do this for you, then you can take it a little lighter. Okay, I think that we take life too seriously sometimes, and it doesn't serve anybody, and definitely doesn't serve us. And us as girls, and I know a lot of men will do that as well, but we have this voice in our head, and it's really, we are our worst enemies. You're not old, you didn't fail, this is not a competition, okay? You're not competing with anybody, so relax. You'll get there one way or another. As long as there is life, there is hope, okay? And there's so much, there's so much science coming out, like stem cells, exons. What else did I learn last week? Peptides, infusions for anti-aging. So we all need to relax, and we're all in this together in this world of being humans. So, all right, well, that's my contribution tonight. I hope that you are all having a great week. I hope that the rest of the week is full of small miracles, and that not only you get them, but you are able to recognize them. And happy holidays, whatever it is that you're celebrating. To me, any day is a great day to celebrate life, because tomorrow is not promised. So I will see you guys back next week. And if anybody wants to reach me, you know how to find me. Just search Bergalis in Facebook and send me a message. So I'll answer one question before I leave. What are the call factor? A was abnormal? Yes, that is a coagulation issue. We would have to see what does abnormal mean. It could be, most of the times when there's an abnormality with that factor, it is too low, and that means that you're overcoagulated, so that, both extremes are bad, right? Hypercoagulation is bad, and not coagulating enough is bad, and it can affect not only pregnancy, but health in general. All right. Well, may you all be blessed, like I was saying. All right, so I guess we have questions today. Cool. Is there other immunological tests that can be done? Oh, yes. Oh, there's a very, very long list, and it gets longer and more complicated as science keeps figuring how we work. So usually we have a kind of a basic panel that includes autoimmune disorders, coagulation, like our friend here was saying, coagulation disorders, and certain mutations in that area. And then we generally recommend the full panel of genetic screening in order to see if that's a contributing factor as well. Does grade 3 embryos give me an edge in hopes for a baby? Absolutely. Every embryo is the possibility of a baby. I don't believe in bad embryos. I had a patient in her 40s, and this is very important. She transferred her bad embryos. They end up in a miscarriage, which is what I was going to go to. Past 40, our eggs are more frail, and even if they're not abnormal, they're more frail. So I know that we won the, we won the cake and needed to, and we want to control it. And so what I've seen past 40 is that they are always trying to do PGT testing on these embryos, and the results are kind of not very satisfying. is fine. Either they're all abnormal or they get one normal that doesn't stick. It is very, very unusual to get an abnormal baby, all right? I've said this before, from the trisomies, which are the ones that sometimes survive, there is 21, which is Down syndrome, 18 and 13. 18 and 21 are the only ones that potentially can survive. 18 seldom survives. And 21, which is the one that is more common to survive, is still small, and it's more common in women under 35 because of all the cofactors. Past 40, it's a yes or no, meaning your abnormal embryos or your less normal looking embryos are either going to be a normal baby or a no pregnancy or a miscarriage or biochemical. So the likelihood, if I were to be doing this right now with what I've seen, I would either, I would transfer my embryos. I would give them a chance, and either they're going to self-correct or they're going to be aborted, or they're not going to make it. So you are seeking, it's very important, you're seeking a miracle, and that comes with a leap of faith. Okay. I've had 3 failed cycles, 4 miscarriages, but I have 4 natural children. Now my body is working against me. You're older, your biological reserve is less, and we don't like to hear that. I don't like to hear that. But you are a different person now than you did when you had your other baby. So you might just need to work a little harder to get that 5th child. That doesn't make it good or bad. It just is, and that's what we're here for, to help you. What is your preference for the 46-year-old transfer, frozen versus fresh? Fresh. Past 40, the best place for your eggs is inside your body. Okay, that's it. And then again, past 40, day 3 embryos for sure. Again, your eggs are more frail. That doesn't make them bad. They're just more frail. So let's treat them as such. Okay, let's give them the least amount of time outside of your body, and let's poke them the least. All right. I actually had a patient. I had a discussion. 42, and she requested natural, traditional IVF. What does that mean? Just allowing fertilization to happen natural, and she ended up with better quality embryos instead of doing ICSI, because ICSI is artificial. We're poking, we're breaking the barrier to force fertilization. So less is better. So that's why, honestly, it's like I don't see the benefit past 40 with PGT testing. That's another poking and missing the potential placenta, and that's what's needed for implantation. So that's my opinion. All right. Last question of the day. How does stim medication doses affect egg quality? It's always better to go slower and longer, especially in the 40+ crowd. So they used to think that the older women, you had to hit them hard, and they had really high doses. But when it was compared to the low doses, you get better quality embryos, and the fertility rate goes up in relation to the amount of eggs, and pregnancy rate goes up as well. We're all different. I have encountered exceptions where you have to go with higher doses, but in general, I like to go lower and slower with the older crowd, and even with the younger crowd, because then for different reasons. This one's because they do better. It's better to have 4 eggs rather than 7 eggs, but those 4 eggs end up in 2 good embryos instead of the 7 eggs end up in 2 or 1 crappy embryos. See? Alrighty. patient with endometriosis wanting to try on eggs, I recommend some like the boot camp, the kitchen sink, keto diet, supplements. I do not do human growth hormone on endo. I'll do ACG priming, IV infusions, PRP, name it, the kitchen sink. It's doable. I've seen it happen. Laparoscopy, hysteroscopy. And if you're going to go through IVF, suppression prior to transferring the embryo. So at least 30 days of Lupron or Lisa could be the magic that will tilt the balance to your favor.
All right.
Well, thank you for those that join us and ask questions. It is in this type of forums that we all learn and share. Okay, sharing is caring and giving is receiving. Alrighty, so may you all be blessed again, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye bye.